Hello, my name is Mackenzie Camacho, and I'm from the O'Neill's Minarets FFA chapter. I am from a part of California called the San Joaquin region, which is California's leading agricultural area. And being surrounded by agriculture, I wanted to have a project that would make a real impact on the industry. So I went out and I contacted different farmers about the problems they have been facing. Through this, when I toured orchards, I saw the devastating effects of a plethora of waterborne pathogens which are plaguing our orchards. I learned that farmers in California receive their irrigation water through two main methods. The first is through pumping groundwater, and the second is through receiving state-allotted water called irrigation district water, which is received to them through a system of rivers and pipelines. I learned that farmers typically only use fungicides once an infection has already begun and crop loss has already begun to be seen, which will carry over for years to come, especially in these permanent row crops such as fruit and nut trees. When conducting my literature review, I learned of two cost-effective solutions to purify irrigation water, and that is bleach and betadine. So the objective of my experiment became to learn whether a solution of 6% bleach or a solution of betadine with a 7.5% iodine concentration would be the most effective at removing Pythium, Phytophthora, and Fusarium fungal spores from irrigation water, which are three common pathogens found in irrigation water globally. It also became an objective of mine to distribute the findings of my research to farmers across the nation. My research question became, what is the most effective solution at eliminating Pythium, Phytophthora, and Fusarium fungal spores from irrigation water? My control for this experiment were the fungal spores present in the irrigation water before treatment. My independent variables were bleach and betadine. My dependent variable were the fungal spores present in the petri dishes. And my hypothesis was that bleach would be the most effective treatment at removing the Pythium, Phytophthora, and Fusarium fungal spores from irrigation water. My methodology included collecting water samples from irrigation wells and irrigation district water, mixing in the proper solutions of bleach and betadine, distributing these solutions onto APDA, PARP, and KO media petri dishes, observing the growth under a microscope with a calibrated ocular micrometer, testing the solution for their pH levels, and identifying and counting the fungal colonies grown into these different media petri dishes. After conducting 4 successful trials, my results were that bleach was the most effective, with removing an average of 86% of the parasitic pathogens present in the irrigation water, followed by betadine, which had an average of 54% decrease in these parasitic pathogens present in the irrigation water. This leads me to strongly recommend the use of bleach in treating irrigation water, as the quantity of bleach needed to kill these parasitic pathogens is not high enough to harm the crops that the water would be distributed to. I learned many things when conducting this experiment, including how a literature review forms the basis of your research project. Without having compared my work and my plans to other past research projects, I wouldn't have had as thorough of a methodology or a research project. I'm also extremely grateful to have been able to work with members of my community, such as Dr. Livingston, who also helped guide me at the beginning of my project when I was unsure of what materials or methodology to use to conduct this experiment. I am grateful for Sunburst Labs in allowing me to use their equipment, which I never would have had access to on my own. I was able to distribute the findings of my research to many farmers who I worked with throughout this project, and Sunburst Labs is also continuing to distribute my research findings with farmers that they work with on a daily basis. Decisions for treating irrigation water are extremely important for these farmers to make. These permanent row crops need people looking out for them with these parasitic pathogens. Permanent row crops such as fruit and nut trees bring in $25 billion annually into America's economy, making them an extremely valuable source for America. With this, it is important for farmers to have a cost-effective solution for treating their irrigation water to remove Pythium, Phytophthora, and Fusarium fungal spores. And based on this information, I recommend treating your irrigation water with bleach, as it is both cost-effective and efficient, and will allow farmers to be proactive rather than reactive. Water is the lifeline of all living organisms on Earth. It's essential that we take the time to ensure that it is not distributing pathogens such as these. Thank you.